Hello everyone and welcome back to our Fintech Garden weekly harvest review. Today with you it's me, Dumitru, co-host for Fintech Garden podcast and founder of NovaFin.
Hello, my name is Igor Tomic and I'm a CEO of Dash Devs. And today, if you would like to get more on the news, you can subscribe to the newsletter on the website. But today we're discussing three interesting pieces that we specially curated for you. And the first one is about the unfortunate events for the Western Union because they shutting down the European digital bank. And it seems quite funny because in one way, neobanks and digital banks, they some way are thriving through the current innovations and they heavily using AI, but classical business as Western Union cannot keep up with all the competitions. And they made a hard decision to close. This service has been launched in 2022. So Dima, what do you think? What are the reasons why it's happening right now?
I will tell you my thoughts and the reasons based on two things. First is like I searched online and found different informations and looked a little bit in their documents that they're publishing. And also from a consumer perspective, because I have the application of Western Union and I tried several times to use their products, banking products and digital cards and so on. So from the main perspective, business perspective, seems like they took a hard decision, not because they just, everything is bad, just because they understood that specifically in European Union or continental Europe, for them it's quite hard to compete with big players already established on the market. We're speaking about Revolut, we're speaking about Wise and 26 and a huge amount of our providers that exist around us. Also, it's worth to mention that a lot of banks, classical banks, also have a very well-established digital products here in United Europe and United Kingdom also. So it's really quite hard to do this. My personal opinion, based on the information I saw and I heard, it's more logical, instead of focusing on this product and spend time, money, resources in Europe, it's better to focus only on one single thing. It's very harsh, very hard, but very wise decision from my side to just cut something that is not working and to recognize this and to try to, rebuild something in another side of a world, maybe to put an accent or to invest those money that were planned for Europe to invest in other products, in other regions. Western Union is very wide present, mostly in North America and Central America, and why not to invest the forces there? And by the way, in our previous weekly harvest review, we were talking about Western Union, about their initiatives in United States, their initiatives in LATAM region. So I think they just reshuffling, the budgets and the investments from one side to another. From the consumer point of view, their application is not so powerful, not so well established as the applications, for example, for big banks or applications of other MEIs that are present in European Union. They don't have a very smooth customer flow inside the application. Sometimes I met some of the bugs that just, made me just not to like at all this application. But I have to recognize that the idea behind this was very, very good one. So they just basically embrace the logic, not embrace, but they just wrap up the logic of top up of a digital card or a physical card, a credit card, with the logic of transfers that they already have and the infrastructure they already have. I understand that in 2020, 2021, the approach was very logical. We have a system, a network of in Europe, all around the world. We run the money. People are transferring money from one side to another. Why not to give a possibility to money to be topped up, not to some cards to other banks, but on our own cards, and to increase value of our product, to increase the revenues. Very good, very nice, but unfortunately, they overestimated their forces. And unfortunately, they arrived on the market with a quite crude product. And this was the main reason, in my opinion, as a consumer, why that happened.
That's true, but let's move to Lloyds because recently they released their new strategic plan. And basically, it says Accelerate 2030. And the group reportedly plans to invest more than £13 billion and introduce smart wallet with the technology acquired through Curve and delivered across around £2 billion in gross cost saving. And it means that we can see basically the mixed bag of everything. In one way, they're investing in technology, but another way, they're trying to cut the costs and introducing AI agents. So I think that's another example of optimization, because as we discussed, Western Union is planning to continue their money remittance business, but they cut in what didn't work. And I think that's always about the execution, because the idea cost minus millions, like that's an idea, but execution is everything. And that's what we see right now on the market. When you think that the idea or pure technology will close the customer needs, it doesn't work this way. The execution, how well it's planned, how the customer experience goes, how the legal perspective is covering all the business needs, it's really important. So I think Lloyds is trying to restructure and keep up with all the competition with the digital and neobanks. So what do you think about this approach?
Let me start first with reading a quotation from Charlie Nunn, Lloyd's chief executive, who said, "We think at least 50% of what we are doing in AI is going to be about differentiating and extending what we do for customers into new areas." So basically, they took, in my humble opinion, they just took classical approach. AI or automatization can help to increase the capacity of processing information, capacity of work with different requests from customers, which is good. That's logical and that's correct, very correct approach. We have example of Klarna, who at the beginning cut some expenses on customer support. They introduced AI and then understood that they still need some customer support with more human presence. Again, I think Lloyds will take a look on this too. I'm sure that they want just to increase the capacity of working hours. Also, we have to keep in mind that AI has no vacations, no bank holidays, no night shifts. It can work 24 hours. So possibly they will increase, they want, and they think they will increase the customer engagement, the customer satisfaction level, because any kind of questions will be solved during the nights. Because they are not implementing only AI chatbots. They are implementing AI agents who can run through their company brain and solve questions and solve issues. I don't know, some money were blocked during a transaction. There's a request for reconciliation or a chargeback or whatever. And those things that are frustrating individual customers can be solved like easy even during the nights without keeping the night shifts, paying money to people who are working during the night. I understand they think like, okay, we will cut something here from salaries and P&L and other overheads, but in the same time we have to invest in AI agents. And we have to keep in mind also the fact that Lloyds is not the single company who is participating in this marathon of investing in AI. So I think that on paper, at least, and based on not so many information we are currently having, I think that's a very correct and wise decision. But as you mentioned, the problem is in execution. We have no idea how it will be executed. So we just have to wish good luck to Lloyds to do everything correctly, and keep in mind that human will not be, at least now, currently will be replaced totally by an AI. Maybe we'll have this in 2045, as, for example, Elon Musk said in his interview. But currently, it's not possible. So they will still have to invest in people and to keep people on board.
And moving to the third one, Revolut has started a secondary share sale, reportedly priced at approximately $2017 per share, implying a valuation as $115 billion, which is 50% more above the $75 billion valuation attached to its November 2025 share sale. And because it's a secondary transaction, the money goes to participating employees and existing shareholders rather than directly to Revolut, which makes Revolut now the biggest fintech success. But private secondary valuation is not the same as public market price discoveries. Are they going to hit the IPO this year? Is it going to be the same valuation, or we will see, I don't know, the situation similar to SpaceX, because the valuations and numbers before IPO were really good, but then it tanked. And what do you think about secondary share sales here?
I don't know if regarding anything about an IPO, but I'm very happy that Revolut achieved such numbers. From one side, I think it's a little bit scary. We have a mastodon on the market, and that mastodon started to behave like a mastodon in the good way, good form of this word. I mean, they're big, they can dictate rules, they can dictate what they want to do, and they are shaping the customer behavior. So other companies will have to copy paste some of the approaches that Revolut is doing, which can be a little bit of disturbance on the market. I don't know. I honestly think that they have just to continue what they do because they're doing very well. There is a risk the moment when they'll go farther and farther and they'll grow. By sure, they'll start to have more compliance questions from big compliance questions from different regulators around European Union and not only. But I just think that that's a logical step. And yes, IPO, it's the future of the step, but we just have to wait to see what will happen in the future.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. And we will make some vacation time for ourselves. So next month we will be pausing the news and we will get back to the last week of the August. But we're looking forward to see you back into the business season. And please take a look on our episodes because we're still preparing in our pipeline new guests and new discussions. So we're looking forward to see you once again on our channel and social networks.
Spend some good quality time with your family, with your friends, in mountains, at the seaside, at home. And we're wishing you to have a very good month. You can watch some of our previous episodes of our podcast and just let's write comments, and we will be here back at the last week of August. Wishing you all the best and have a nice day.